Hey guys, it's Anami, and today I'm going to be filming a story time. And I know that's like pretty different from what I've been filming on this channel. And I know like people don't do story times anymore, but we're just going to continue on the trend because why not? So this is the story. I mean, you've already seen the title, but this is the story of how I almost got bitten by a shark. So yeah, let's just get into it. So basically, I think it was about a year or two ago, I'm not sure, but I went to Africa, and one of the places that I went to in Africa was Cape Town, Africa. And if you don't know, Cape Town is like home to a lot of great white sharks. Like that's like the main area, and there's like so many attacks there. There's like a beach where they've had many like great white shark attacks there, but it's also known for like surfing and stuff. And so naturally one of the main attractions and like excursions that people like to do is go shark cage diving. And I was like, oh, that's cool, like I want to try that out too. So I booked a tour thing to go shark cage diving, and it was pretty early in the morning when I left to do it. Like I booked it a few days in advance, and then the day of we left really early in the morning to get to the dock so they would talk to us about like what's gonna happen when you go in the water. And like mind you, for like those last like few weeks before we went, they said that they hadn't had a lot of shark encounters. Like they couldn't find a lot of sharks, not many sharks were coming up, and many of their customers was like going home unsatisfied because they didn't get to shark cage dive because there were no sharks. And so it was kind of risk already to do it, but I kind of want to try it out because it sounded really cool. So we got to the dock really early in the morning. It was like freezing cold, and the boat ride to the like location where they would drop us in the water in the cage was like an hour from the dock. So we waited inside while they explained for an hour. Then we went to the docks. They talked about what we're gonna do when we get there. We got on the boat and we drove for an hour, and it was so tiring because it was like freezing cold. First of all, I'm like super tired. It's so early in the morning. And so we finally reach our location where the sharks are supposed to come, and they just stopped the boat in the middle of the water. And it's not like we were pretty far from like civilization, I guess. There were a few other shark cage diving boats around us, and there was a beach. There was also a beach. You could see it, like it was in our view. So it was probably like 50 miles or something, not even 50. It was really, really close. And like the sharks would just come around there. So, and it was like a crowd. It was a pretty populated beach too. Like there were a bunch of people there. It wasn't just like no people there. And so they release all the food for the shark. They just throw in like fish and blood or whatever overboard so like attract the sharks to come over. And we all got ready in our wetsuits, and it's like freezing cold. This boat is like pretty tiny, so and the waves are rough, so the boat was moving like everywhere because it was a pretty small boat. And so I think we waited for like 2 hours on the boat, like in our wetsuits, like everyone just in the wetsuit. The cage is like ready to go, but there's no sharks coming. And we were literally about to leave, and then one of the other boats around us spotted a shark. And so everyone like freaking out. So they spotted the shark, and the shark circled around their boat a few times. And then our boat, like people released more bait into the water, and so the shark came over to our side. And so then everyone was getting ready really quickly to get into the water to like get a picture of the shark and see it. Honestly, it kind of wasn't worth it. It looked like the same from outside the water. Like I got to see it from outside and inside, and I would say that the view from like the top of the water was much better than the view from inside the water, because the water was like murky, not really murky, but it was like kind of, the visibility was low, so I couldn't really see anything. And so it was finally my turn. I think I was like the second group to go, and there's only like 4 people in each cage diving thing. So one of those people, there was this like girl next to me. I don't know if she was like younger than me. I feel like she's younger than me, but I'm not sure. She was definitely freaked out, but she was also like really, really excited. Like she was jumpy. And so it was our turn to go in. So while the shark was like taking its lap around our boat or whatever, we got into the water. It's freezing cold. It's so cold. I'm like shivering, and I'm also like nervous about like where the shark is because I had no idea when I got into the water. I mean, even though I'm in a cage, I'm still really nervous. And the girl takes out a GoPro. I'm pretty sure it's a GoPro, and because it's like waterproof or whatever. And she takes out a GoPro, and she takes her hand out of the cage to put the GoPro out of the cage. So her hand's outside of the cage with the GoPro to get a video of the shark when it comes back around. So when the shark was coming back around, I like saw it from the corner of my eye, and then I saw the girl and I was like, are you like, what is she doing? Is she crazy? Like, she's crazy. And so I kind of like, I tried to get her attention, but I mean, she never saw me. So then I like I put my hand outside of the cage a little bit so I could like nudge her to like probably get her hand back unless she wants to get it eaten. And so I did that, and right when I did that, the shark came around and it came to like where I was, like our cage area, and it slammed right into it. And everyone in that cage got so freaked out. I got so freaked out. Everyone like jumped to like the back of the cage because I was like so scared. I was like, what is happening? And it like slammed into us, and then kind of like swum back, and then just started doing its laps again, like started like trailing the boat again. I'll insert pictures right here of the view of the shark from outside of the water because I didn't get any inside of the water. But like, she was crazy, and then she was gonna do it again another time when the shark was coming back around. Thankfully, like the second time it came back around, it kind of like went past our cage. It didn't come that close to it. The first time it just slammed into the cage. Maybe it was because her hand was like, our hands were like outside of the cage and it would sense the movement or something. I have no idea why it did that. But the second time it was like all good, and then we got out of the water and I was like pale. I was like white because I was so scared and I did not want to do that again. So we pretty much, after our like turn around, whatever was over, we got out of the water and I was freezing cold, and I was like pale, I was like white, like I had just seen like a ghost or something because I was so scared. But it was actually a really good experience. Like, we got to see the shark from outside of the water, and actually that was like so much cooler. The shark was huge. It was like 9 feet or something. It was a huge shark, and it was also a great white shark. So that was like kind of scary too because it was like one of the biggest sharks. And so it was pretty scary. It was a scary experience, I gotta say. But it was definitely also like really cool to see that. And I also visited that beach where it's like the surfer beach or whatever, where they actually have a lot of great white shark encounters there and shark attacks there. And their waves are like gorgeous. They're like perfect height and stuff for people to surf on it. It's a very popular area, but it's also like home to a lot of great white sharks. And I remember when we went on that beach, like we definitely saw stuff out in the distance. Like I could see like stuff jumping, and I think it was like whales or dolphins or something, but it was really pretty. So anyway, back to that shark experience. We got out of the water, and I mean, the shark circled around a few more times, so we got a few looks of it outside of the water, and then it ended up just leaving, like it just trailed away. And so after that, we just went back to the docks. We drove for an hour. I mean, we rode the boat for an hour, and we went back to the docks, and that was it. So yeah, that was my story time of how I almost got bitten by a shark. Because like when the shark slammed in, I mean, its mouth was like open, so it definitely could have bitten us. So yeah. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos, because I'm going to be making like all kinds of videos that you guys want to see. And yeah, thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye!